Welcome back to the second round of the Bold Experience FIM Asia Supermoto Championship here at Solo Baru, right in the middle of the place at Park Mall. And Baz, welcome back, and what a race we had earlier on. Just a little appetizer for the next one as well.
Yeah, we certainly did. It was full of surprises. The only thing that wasn't so surprising was Lewis Cornish running away with the win. He was absolutely on plan. Rode a perfect race to lead from the start, right through to the end, finally taking the win by 22 seconds. But
it was interesting talking to some of the guys afterwards, and okay, they were getting very hot, and they were wanting to, like even Zachariah saying, can we cut the race down to 5 minutes for the next one, showing that it's not only the Europeans and co that show the effects of it, but everybody was feeling the pinch of it. But also some of the comments from the other riders about how much fun it is out there in this sort of layout.
Well, that's right. And Ari Zakaria, I think we're looking at the track now. It's 800 meters in length. It's got 13 corners. So that means it's extremely hectic for the riders. It's got the two big double jumps that you can see on that track map, and two smaller jumps thrown in elsewhere on the track. So it's tight. It's block paved, as you can probably see from the TV screen, the HD TV. So it's giving the riders plenty of challenges. It's shaking the bikes around, and people are enjoying it. Like you were saying, Braxy.
Yeah.
We had comments. Perhaps the most enthusiastic came from the Latvian Edgars Ivuškins, who said this is taking Supermoto to another level, and it's way better than what the tracks that wherever you're seeing in Europe.
And there's our favourite that's in there. There was Donitata Perdita. He was in the first leg. As the hand signal said it all, keep it on, keep it pinned. He was leading the race, the first one in fine style, but unfortunately he was using his enduro bike, which still had the side stand attached, and the spring broke, and it was actually dangling around like a third leg on the side of the bike. So he was forced to stop and take it off, and ended up still finishing second. I think he managed to recover too.
Yes, he did. Yeah, and that shows how new. This is Donny's first outing in Supermoto. He's doing 4 races this afternoon. Of course, he's doing the full Bold Experience FIM Major Supermoto races as well, and he's doing these 2 Supermoto races here in the national championships. But that bike is an enduro bike, and he was saying to me yesterday, he just put a pair of 17-inch wheels on it, basically.
That's all you got to do to convert your dirt bike into a road-going Supermoto machine. And just on screen there before we had our winner of the first race was Farhan Hendro, fellow Indonesian as well, and he was stalking Perdita up until Perdita had that problem, and you were just wondering when he was going to make a pounce on the move. It might be only about 6 guys in this race, but the action should be right up there with the local lads can get to strut their stuff in front of a big crowd, which they don't often get to do, particularly in the middle of a city like we are at the moment, in the middle of Solo Baru.
Absolutely, and they've got 2 big stars to attract them there. In Donitata Perdita, the former 250 GP rider and Moto2 rider. We're looking now at Pedro Werner on the screen. He's looking pumped up for this, yeah.
Having a bit of fun. He knows it's a lot. Yep, let's get this party started, he's saying. And the smiles on these people, the riders, everybody around, the hospitality that we've been granted this weekend, or this week as a matter of fact, since we arrived on Wednesday. Great event, and just talking to a few of the people around, besides the riders, also people involved in the organisation, how happy they are with how it's all gone down. Could be a regular occasion, a regular event here at this Park Mall in future years to come.
Well, we certainly hope so. The local government here have been fantastic in their support, and Asia Super Sports Group and E Plus Global are really delivering a great event here as we watch the riders go off for their 2 warm-up laps before they come back around and form up for the start of this second moto of the SM Open class.
Yeah, that goes for about 15 minutes as well, before we'll have one little interlude between then when they have the SM Open Veterans coming out, before we get to the grand finale of this second round of the Bold Experience FIM Asia Supermoto Championship with leg number 2 of the event. Again, 20 minutes plus 2 laps to decide the winner. And I'll tell you what, Perdita and his fellow Indonesians double duty by doing 4 races tonight. So they're going to
Yeah, they haven't got too long to cool down, that's for sure. Between the they've got the veterans race to sit out, and then they're going to have to be back on for the 20 minutes plus 2 laps of the FIA Major Supermoto Moto 2.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I presume it'll be a bit of a carbon copy from this morning's race where Perdita and Hendro broke away pretty quickly from the rest of the pack, and they became embroiled in their own duel until we said, well, like Perdita had that, it was a mechanical issue, it was just a bit of unluckiness, I suppose, with the side stand deciding to break at spring. And I reckon he would have done that by hitting one of the tyres in some of the tight turns he was trying to negotiate.
Yeah, he probably did, but we were pretty surprised to see the side stand dangling off halfway through the race. It did look strange, but...
and even talking to Hendro after the race, he was worried about it, that it was going to dig in and either break off or maybe even high side Perdita, which is very easy to do when a side stand digs in. And look at this crowd, they're just enthralled of what is going on here.
Yeah, Braxy, look how close they are to the track as well.
Yeah, about 6 or 7 deep, and just one of the earlier races. You can tell when there's something happening on the track because the crowd gets right behind it, very enthusiastic. And they're all trying to find a little bit of a vantage point. They're climbing on top of fire trucks, they're climbing on top of the roofs around these the little cafes and makan stalls around the place.
Yeah, absolutely right. This is a real good experience to come here to Indonesia. They always have these fantastic crowds. And we're looking at the 15-minute signal being given now for the start of this SM Open Class Moto 2.
In the starter's hands now, flag up at the back, everybody is right, revs are building. Oh, there's a couple of excited boys then, but who's going to get the start? It is Hendro, gets the whole shot again.
Yeah, he well and truly muscled out Donny Tata Perdita there.
Yeah, he wasn't letting him anywhere near the whole shot, that one.
He was almost looking across there. Yeah.
As he'll head off into the distance, it's very fast section. Only get up to 3rd gear, but they'll be getting up to about 120 kilometres an hour before they actually grab a big handful of brake there to pull it up. And you can see the dramatic how much they grab a handful. And again, riders complaining about the brake fluid boiling. They're getting it that hot and that dramatic as they're trying to leave the braking till the last minute, grab a big handful and hopefully it sticks. And I tell you, the jumps have held up really well today too, considering the amount of traffic they've been going through.
Yeah, that's
really packed down really well.
Yeah, they've had 4 or 5 days of sun on them now. They were rutting quite badly on Friday and Saturday, but looking good now. So we've got the 2 leaders over the line. Farhan Hendra's got, he's looking reasonably comfortable in that short lead over Donny Tata, which of course is a reverse of Moto 1 when Donny had the upper hand.
For a short to about half of the race distance, but I reckon that Donny is going to make a bit of an effort. I don't think Hendro is going to get too far away, young Farhan.
No, Donny Tata, he's got pride at stake here.
He sure has.
Yes, it's his first Supermoto race, but he's a class rider, he's a well-known rider. A lot of the crowd will have come here just to see him.
And also in 4th position, we've got Wawan Tembong, the stunt rider that put on a great display in the opening ceremony and a couple of times during the course of the weekend as well. He'll be back later on this afternoon to entertain the crowd before the party starts with yet another band right here in the middle of Park Mall to finish off the occasion for 2017.
Yeah, absolutely. The place has been pumping since 6 a.m. this morning when people started arriving. There was a market there was people doing aerobics, there was people even then starting to gather at the side of the track to get a good vantage point.
I reckon they should have a couple of microphones strategically positioned just at some of these corners so you could actually hear the chirping and the screeching of the tyres being tortured as they try and maintain traction around this track. There's one of the littler jumps of the 4 that are on the track. It's 800 metres of this layout.
Yeah.
And 2 distinctly different lines trying to find the better way up the rutted up ramp of the final jump there.
Yeah, coming out for the end of this lap. Farhan Hendro, yeah, he's got a bit of daylight there between him and Donny.
And look at the front and rear end bouncing on the tarmac, trying to get a bit of traction there as they get every bit of adhesion out of these tyres.
Yeah, the entry to that corner is pretty uneven.
And this is a bit uneven here, so you see the front end working ferociously trying to keep the wheel on the ground. And I'll tell you what, young Donny Tata is looking a little bit more comfortable when it comes down to it as we go down. We've got 12 laps to go of this event. And
Yeah.
he's just waiting there for the slightest mistake from Hendro. But Hendro again is getting that inch perfect, and Donny taking the same line over the inside of that jump. It's pretty smooth on the sides of the jump compared to the rutting that's going on in the middle of them.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, in the in Moto 1 of the main event, the Supermoto Championship, it was Donny Tata that got the better of Farah Hendro.
So the lap times now, they're only a couple of hundredths of a second difference in the times, but those couple of hundredths have allowed Hendro to get out to about a 0.52 second of a lead at the end of that previous lap. But depends where they measure it. If you measured it here, you wouldn't even get it on the stopwatch if you were lucky, because he's that close
that's right.
to him.
Yeah.
And you're wondering when he's going to do it. As you said, there's a bit of pride at stake between the two local lads.
Yeah, very much so. Both experienced, both well known, but Farah Hendro much more of a Supermoto exponent. And of course, he's come from motocross as opposed to Donny Tata coming from road racing.
Yeah, and he's adapted pretty well, and he's committed to doing the rest of the championships. Is young Perdita, or Donny as he's affectionately known.
Yeah, that's very good news to have yet another top-class rider in this series.
It's funny, when you walk around the place, you wouldn't think there's that many undulations there, but when they come up that back straight, you just see the suspension working ferociously.
Yeah, just watch the suspension if you doubt what we're saying. But this is the challenge of this particular track, the particular car park that they built this track in, that is block paved, so plenty of vibration.
And Tim Bong, the stunt rider, up the third position, although he's 15 seconds behind. But he's in a great battle with Pedro Wuna too in the battle. They're separated by about 0.3 of a second as well as they start their 7th lap. But I'll tell you what, while we're waxing lyrical about Donny Tata trying to move up from second position, Hendro's accepting all the pressure and then throwing it back by putting in some pretty ferocious lap times.
Yeah, that's
fastest
right.
lap, well, he just put in his fastest lap of the race, did Hendro, that previous lap of 53.331, and that was 0.012 faster than what Perdita is doing in that second position.
Yeah, I think he's going to make a lunge for it soon. Foreign riding with good style at the front there.
But you can hear the noise just outside our commentary box or commentary tent with the air conditioning. You know, it's wonder you can't hear that above everything else. We've got that pretty well wicked up as well.
Yeah, that's right. And of course we've got Juan and Pedro Wuna. They're pretty well tied together as well. That's the battle for third place.
Yeah.
So you've got a battle for first, a close battle for first, and you've got a close battle.
Yeah, they're only separated by a couple of tenths as well.
Absolutely.
And this is the battle for third and fourth position. Sorry, that's it is the battle for third and fourth, is it?
That's right.
Yes, it is. It's bike number.
Yeah,
that's back down the field. That is Nilo Andre there. Now we're getting back to it. Here's Tembong. Now this is a great battle. This is the one for third position. Tembong leading the way on bike number 89 from Wuna in position number 4 on bike number 7.
Yeah, of course. So, well, I haven't been busy.
I wonder if Tembong gets any temptation to do a few stunts when he's out there as well.
Yeah, he certainly knows how to torture a bike and make it slide around.
And he pulls off some cunning stunts too, he does.
He certainly did.
Oh, I tell you what, Werner had a good look up the inside there in turn number 1.
Yeah, Wooner, of course, another of the riders that's doing 4 races today.
It looks like he was going to have a look up the inside there as we have a panning shot of the crowd behind, but not quite. He's got the charge up, he's side by side.
Yeah,
The elbow to elbow, handlebar to handlebar. And Wooner gets the lead, runs it a bit wide and allows Timbong back into third position.
Still both together, yep.
Oh, he's going to tag him. If he can't get by him, he's going to ride over the top of him, I think, at the moment.
Yep, no holds barred here for this third position.
Now just back at the front of the field, Hendro is still half a second in front of Perdita, but this is a battle. They're looking at each other. Who's going to take the line? Timbong gets the faster entry, the wider entry point into it. But these guys got 6 laps to go. So approximately 6 minutes, just under 6 minutes left, and he's up the inside again. No, he's not. Good covering, brake checking line by Timbong there in the turn number 1.
Yeah, it's good to have a look at this dice because it does show just how difficult it is to get past. And they're very evenly matched, these two.
And is he going to put another move in? Not quite. The difference in lap times at the moment, just less than 1/10 of a second. They're all over each other, and Timbong would just have, we get back to our leaders now with Hendro just holding off our second place. Donny Tata Perdita there in second position.
Yeah, and Donny's looking a little bit more closer. Maybe he's going to make another lunge as we've got 5 laps to go.
Still just pretty even in the lap times, although Hendro is just slightly faster by a few hundredths of a second. Now with less than 4.5 laps to go, it's all down to what Donny Tata can do and what Hendro can do to hold him off.
Yeah, Hendro gapped him there over that jump. I have noticed Donny Tata's been jumping pretty well generally, but that time Hendro got some distance then as they bounce and squirm through that first turn.
And now with less than 4 laps to go, you'd like to think that Hendro's got enough up his sleeve to take the win, but I've just got this feeling as a lap marker comes up that was Fadula Adam getting out of the way.
Yep, nice clean job by him. Let the leaders through with no interruption.
And just the battle back for third and fourth. Wooner still there in front of Timbong at the moment. And now between those two is some 30 seconds. So these two have really pulled the pin on the machines and made a big break on the lads. And now Timbong is, he's dropped off right off the back of Wooner too. So he must have a bit of a see.
Yeah, Pedro's pulled away now. So it just seems we've seen this in the main race too. That in the last few minutes, some of the riders do tend to drop back.
Yeah, I think, they've been doing double duty, some of them, and Timbong's been doing the stunt riding, so he might be feeling a bit of the pinch too, because that's pretty physical, the stuff he puts himself through.
Oh, it certainly is, including riding with other people. He was riding with our co-host, Jelly Jello, last night.
Yeah, I don't think she'll be jumping on his bike anytime soon. She had a pretty dramatic ride yesterday.
Yeah, thrown around on the front of the bike and then almost run over.
Now we're coming down here in the final, the second last turn, Bold Experience hairpin, and now we're out there on 2 laps to go.
Yeah, Donny knows he's running out of time to make an impression on Foreign.
Less than 1.6 kilometres to go.
Yeah, look how close they are now.
Now the lap markers.
Yeah.
That was Timbong getting out of the way.
Yes, it was.
And you can hear the front end and the rear end chirping as it fights for traction going into turn number 6. You just think that Hendro's doing enough, and Perdita has to go and do a real desperate to get in front of him.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, Hendro's covering his lines very well. Yeah, he's got a bit of a chance. Oh no, he lost a bit of drive there. The back skipped out on him as he landed for Perdita. So the last lap board about to come out. What can the ex-GP pilot Donny Tata Perdita do to get in front of?
And here comes
Donny.
Oh,
and he fenced him as well. Well, he won't be too happy with that one.
That was very committed.
Do you call that a fence job or a good brake check? Or a bit of both?
Well, yeah, they both hit the tyres. Ferran hit the tyres just in front as well.
Yeah. And is Perdita punched the air in delight at that one that he's got in front?
Yep.
And
Well,
I wonder what will be said in Indonesian after this has happened. And we might get down there and might be able to pick up a few more words
Could be,
that aren't good in a family-orientated show.
yeah, I think so. I think they just ended a beautiful friendship.
Well, Perdita's probably thought, I gave you the first one, now you've got to give me the second one.
Well, that's it.
So they'll finish on equal points, and yet Perdita will win the round because he sees better result in the final race.
Yeah. So here he goes. A delighted Donny Perdita takes a checkered flag
Waves at his fans.
after that very tough last lap, first corner, last lap move on
And,
Ferran
I think
Hendro.
the body language of Hendro said it all in. Just motored across the line. He knew he didn't have a battle the race for second position.
Yeah, well, those two lads have maybe just about got time for a little chat in the paddock before they suit up for Moto 2.
Well, it's probably lucky that Perdita's on one side of the fence and Hendro's on the other.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. Well, anyway, this is a popular win, as you can see. It's high-fiving the crowd. Again, we can see how close the crowd can get in Supermoto.
Yeah, well, if you can take it to the crowd and the crowd will come.
Yeah.
Wasn't it a famous movie that once said, build it and they will come? They certainly came to this one.
Well, you're a real culture vulture, mate. Eh?
Oh, the old
You lost me already.
No, Field of Dreams. That was a great old movie. That one.
Field of Dreams. Yeah, okay.
Kevin Costner in his younger days. Anyway, back to the future, or back to the present, more like it, here at the second round of this Bold Experience FIM Supermoto Championship. We've just covered one of the support races, which was the SM Pro Open. And Perdita got it after his bit of unluckiness in the first race. So he claimed it by about 11 seconds because Hendro just went, well, that's it. If that's the way you want to play the game.
Yeah, I think so. And I doubt whether race control are going to do too much about that. I think it was a racing incident. They were both leaning on each other pretty hard. And
Well, that's racing.
This is racing. Absolutely.
There's a guy in Australia called Shannon Johnson, and his attitude was the front wheel's 3.5 inches wide, and if there's 3.5 inches on a bit of bitumen, I can take it. And he did that quite often.
Yeah, he did indeed. So those lads have got a little while to try and cool down. The first three there, Donny Tata, Ferran Hendro and Pedro Wuna.
And Wawan Tembong, the stunt rider, the national stunt champion of Indonesian stunt riding, in 4th position. Then it was Nilo Andri in 5th position, Ivan Harry Nugrara in 6th, and then rounding out the field, well, those two didn't finish actually. Farduya Adam didn't complete a lap.
Yeah, so just four finishes in that one, but a good dry run for the local riders. The first three, of course, have to get ready for Moto 2.
Yeah, so now I've got a bit of another race between this one and the final race on the day with the second leg of the FIM Asia Supermoto Championship, proudly presented this weekend by Bold Experience. We've got the SM Pro Open Veterans.
Yep, looking forward to that. I think we're not going live on that, but maybe we'll go and have a look.
We might go and have a look
what the other
at
old
it.
fellas around here are doing.
Yeah, exactly. And become jealous at just how fast some of these guys are. But no, got another great race. Pretty, entertaining and dramatic race that was had in the battle for 1st and 2nd, and also the battle for 3rd and 4th for 12 of those 15 laps for the battle for 3rd and 4th. And that went right down to the first corner of the final lap for the move to be made. We knew it was coming, but we just didn't know when he was going to do it. And if you're going to do it there, well, I suppose it's a matter of the brake check and the blocking, which is a basis of racing, whether you're doing motocross, dirt track or road racing. And we've got the hybrid here with the road racing and the dirt track with a little bit of the motocross in there as well.
That's right, and we're just looking at the start-finish straight there. We've got 14 flags there, and in the main event, the Bold Experience FIM Asia Supermoto Championship 2017. This is round 2.
Yeah, and it's going to be a good start. It's starting to cool down a bit, which will help these guys after the a pretty intense and very heated conditions there in that first leg that really took an effect on some of the lads. And when one of the guys, Kyrie Zakaria, actually asked us if we could change it. He was joking, of course, but it just shows you how intense and how demanding it was to race around here, because there's no real chance to have a break. There's not a lot of breeze getting through your leathers or whatsoever. And then when you slow down at the end of the race, that's when the core temperature of your body really arcs it up a notch.
Yeah, it definitely does. And surprising that some of the riders that are used to that live in these temperatures faded, because the race winner in Moto 1, Lewis Cornish, he didn't fade at all. He eased off because he knew he had a good lead, but a lot of his 22-second gap he had on Kyrie Zakaria in second was done in the last handful of laps.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it's been a great event here, and we know it can't be done without sponsors. When we first up, we've got to thank the event for being organised by E Plus Global and promoted by the Asian Supersports Group, but also the masses of sponsors and supporters that are coming on board this FIM Asia Supermoto Championship, led by our round sponsors for the year, naming rights for this round, pardon me, the Bold Experience, the local Indonesian company, and also the council, Kabupaten Sukoharjo. They're the main guys that have made us feel really welcome and really bent over backwards to get this event underway, and I think all the hard work has really paid off. And also the Indonesian Motor Association. I've managed to find all the marshals, ranging in ages from about 10 or 11 up to older adults and everything, so proving that everybody wants to go. Cracker Indonesia, the Park Mall, obviously, because that's where we ride here. And then Telco Cell, pardon me, one of the mobile phone companies in Malaysia and Indonesia. Telcorn, KMK Online, and also Liputan6.com, Bowler.com, Video.com, Malay Mail, pardon me. Killer blogger Ben Ashari, and TX Sports.
And that just shows you this local support. Just shows you how committed companies are in Indonesia to sponsorship, and big respect to them. What you just read out there, Braxi for me, it was a role of honour, because they're the guys that are keeping the sport growing. They're bringing this fantastic championship.
He's got a pretty good flag to lay on too, by the look of it.
Yeah, he's looking pretty relaxed there.
Yeah, and what better way to spend a Sunday afternoon in Solo Baru than heading to a motorcycle race? And if there's any doubt that there's people that don't like motorbikes, have a look at the crowd at the bikes in the pits. But in the meantime, we're going to have a bit of a break, and the Braxi and Baz shall be back for the second leg of the FIM Asia Supermoto Championship, proudly presented by Bold Experience, very soon.
Looking forward to it.
Well, welcome back to round 2 of the 2017 FIM Asia Supermoto Championship, proudly brought to you this weekend by Bold Experience here at the Park Mall in Solo Baru in Sukoharjo, Indonesia. And on screen at the moment you can see the track, 800 metres with 13 turns of a very, very demanding and challenging track. Not so much demanding, I suppose, but you just got to be on it and precise, because one little mistake and it can be all over for you, as I've seen a couple of times. Welcome back, Baz.
Yeah, good to be back after the exhausting first race. We had a fantastic first race and a great performance from this young lad here, Lewis Cornish. We're looking at on the screen.
He's got the big smile. He went back to his room for a shower, the cold showers. They're on the hotel's only, 50 metres away? The 12-storey hotel that we've been staying in, the Fave Hotel. Yeah. We should give them a mention too. They've been a good supporter of the event as well.
Yes, they have indeed. Yeah.
And this is a graphic demonstration of the humidity and the heat, the ice pack on the head, not down the back, but on the head to try and cool the brain down a bit. Is that what you do?
Yeah.
And
well,
here
he's got a cool head, Lewis, that's for sure.
Very cool head, very cool head. And there's the man that give him a bit of a hurry up early on in the race, but Cornish is just in a little bit above it at the moment, as you've said, and we've said a couple of times. Lewis finished 3rd in the AMA Championship this year, so it's not as if he's a fly-by-nighter. He's a very well-experienced guy at the nose of stuff, and as you've said and we've said, that he's got the target on his back of these guys, knowing that this is what I've got to do to get to that level. And tell you the truth, mate, they're not that far behind, and I mean that most sincerely.
No, they're not, and Lewis has a lot of respect for these guys, particularly the front four here.
Trakan Tantong, always smiling.
Yeah, that's a Thai smile. He's 20. How old is he now?
24, 25?
24, 25 now. Very experienced racer and been a real star in Thailand. He's as well as winning probably 5 or 6 Supercross championships.
Yeah, well, his birthday is actually the 16th of October, so he'll be his birthday tomorrow.
Yeah, so he's won a big hatful of championships in Thailand. He's also made wildcard appearances in MXGP and Motocross of Nations. So he's a very experienced lad. He's a very thoughtful lad, and he's thinking, how can he get onto the back of Lewis Cornish?
Yeah, and it'll be all on the start, and hopefully we don't see the mayhem that was there on the first leg. When back in the field mid-pack, there was a coming together which brought a few guys down, but most of them managed to get back up again and get going. There's a second row of the grid where the defending champion Muhammad Habibullah, or Gabit as he's commonly known. There's Takashi Sasaki, just celebrated his 46th birthday, and he's certainly not getting any slower with Paradila Adam there on the outside. Then the third row of the grid, we've got Naoki Takayama. Then Tim Teslenko, who put in his best result of his time in the championship. Donny Tata Pradita after winning that Pro Open. Then it's Farhan Hendro, Rugbed Barjul, and then Edgars Ibushkins, who loves this place as well.
And on row 5, you've got Hazroy Osman of Singapore, Santong, China, and Kenneth San Andres from the Philippines. Row 6, we got Lee Chin Pei. We got Sang Wai Kei and Deshan Solanki. Deshan went very well in the early stages but had a problem. Yeah, row 7 we got Momo Hamano, we got Indonesia's Pedro Wuna and Ivan Harry Nugrara.
He should be called Ivan Happy Nugrara because he's always smiling.
And let's not forget Lee Wei there on the back. Yeah, he is indeed. But the riders really enjoyed the first moto. They're enjoying the atmosphere here at the Park Mall in Solo Baru. And everybody is they're enjoying the crowd. Look how close the crowd are to the track. The riders, when they finish the races, because we've had a load of local races here again today to keep everybody entertained, they can just ride along the side and high-five the spectators.
Yeah,
wonderful stuff.
It is, and as Lewis starts to get his gear on.
And just looking at this, Braxy, look at Lewis's bike. His team were waiting as the bikes from the previous race were on their slowing down laps. They were waiting in the middle of the track with the tyre warmers to put them on. This is a very professional, very well prepared team.
Yeah, Kenny Motorsports, they do a great job, the guys from Malaysia. And Lewis Cornish loves coming out here, and I can understand why. He's been a part of the event for a while now, and he'll continue to do that for some time. And I think when you got the guys of Lewis Cornish's calibre coming out to this, it raises a game, and we've just seen the expansion of this championship. We're into 2 rounds. We've got another 4 rounds to go of this 2017 championship, which takes us to India, China, Singapore and Malaysia.
That's right. And I think he's a pleasant lad, Lewis. He's always got a smile on his face. The locals seem to be taking to him very well, and he's enjoying himself here. And the heat doesn't seem to be getting to him. He says it does. But
it does to a certain extent, but it just shows you how fit that he is to come out here. And I don't know where he trains to get the cardiovascular fitness to be coming out here to the tropics to actually keep that maintained, because you can train anywhere in the world and get fit, but you've got to put up with the humidity and the heat that is just sometimes oppressive. We've noticed during the middle of the day, on a clear day, the sun beating down, it is very, very sticky.
Well, that's absolutely right. And you need to be training with your heartbeat at the same level that it runs at during a race. So if your heartbeat's running at 200 BPM, that's what you need to train at.
He's got a big Storner back in Norwich, where he lives in England, in the east of England there. And
well, yeah, I know he does quite a bit of cyclocross. He does a bit of motocross training, and of course he's racing. And as well as this championship, he's done the AMA, which is now finished last week, but he finished 3rd there, and he's doing the French Supermoto Championship. So he's race fit.
Off on their 2 warm-up laps. Get some heat in the tyres, settle the nerves a bit, I suppose, if you can do that before a start of a race. And 22 riders from 14 countries front up to the starter for this final leg of round 2 of the Bold Experience FIM's Asia Supermoto Championship here at Park Mall, Solo Baru, right in the heart of Central Java at a place called Sukuharjo.
Yeah, and we've got the benefit of this superb HD coverage from E+ Global that have worked very effectively with promoter Asia Supersports Group to bring this experience straight into wherever you happen to be, straight into the cafe, straight into your living room. But the HD quality, people out there are looking at exactly what we're looking at.
Now, looking at that too, Bazza, just looking at the way the shadows are lengthening, there might be a time when they're actually looking right into the sun, I just noticed on that warm-up lap.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's going to add a bit of drama to it, because being with trees all around at different parts, your vision's going to be slightly messed up a bit. So we'll just have to see how that affects them. It's a bit sort of cloudy out here, a bit high cloud and everything. No chance of rain, as we're starting to get onto the closeness of the Asian wet season, which isn't too far away. We had a downpour yesterday, which had its effect on the jumps, the dirt jumps. But other than that, it's been perfect conditions. And look at this crowd at the moment. They are all over this, around this perimeter of this 800-metre circuit here, right in the middle of the car park, behind the shopping centre, which you can see just up there. Our hotel's only a few, 100 metres away, in fact. And the main street of the town, believe it or not, the main drag is right beside this as well. So you can't get any closer to the centre of the town than you are here at Solo Baru in the Sukuharjo district of Central Java. There's the marshal, 20 minutes plus 2 laps for this final leg.
Yep.
Who can actually come and
here we go, Braxton. We've got 22 riders from 14 countries.
The race is about to start. Red flag up at the beginning. We'll wait to see the green flag. Nerves are building, the reds are building. They're getting closer to this start, 20 minutes. Thankfully it is a bit cooler than what it was for the corresponding races just after lunchtime. And here we go, ready. Green flag up at the back. Where are they? We're just waiting.
Last bike coming to the grid there.
We're waiting for it at the moment. The grid is full. Revs are building. They're on the limit. They're about to head off. It's Lewis Cornish. What can he do? The tie rider Had a bit of a jump start there, but again, Lewis Cornish. No, sorry, that
That's
was
Habib Buller going straight into the lead.
Gabbett got
Did he hold
lead
it?
there?
Yeah, he's held it.
Yeah, Gabbett got the whole shot there, so he's made a charge. Finished fourth in the first race. What did he do in this race?
I think that's Lewis straight behind him there.
Yeah, well, it's just a matter of when is he going to make the attack. Does Lewis sit there and make a bit of a settle down and let Gabbett do the donkey work? I'll tell you what, he's not working like a donkey. He's riding like a thoroughbred at the moment. He is really kicking it out. He wants that number one plate. It's not just a mistake. He is a defending champion of the FIMA Supermoto Championship. Cornish in second, then in third.
Well, that's Sasaki in third place.
There in third position. That is awesome at the moment. So Sasaki, after finishing fifth in leg number one, he is up to third already. This is the charge. What can Cornish do? What can Gabbett do in the lead? Cornish is not going to sit there for too long. He's going to be trying to make a move on Gabbett as soon as possible. Sasaki in second, Teng Tong in fourth position.
Yeah, Gabbett means business here, but he hasn't had Cornish's pace so far in this.
Yeah, he hasn't had the pace at the moment, but he's certainly found something between the first race and now.
And look at Takahashi, the 46-year-old Japanese. He's in third place. He had a fantastic Moto 1 where he finished fifth.
Now that opening lap at 52.4, 53.5, Cornish now on the charge, coming up to the hairpin, the Bold Experience hairpin. I tell you, Gabbett's going to experience the hot breath of Lewis Cornish very shortly. Up the inside comes, oh no, Gabbett shuts the door, but he's got the line going through turn number 2.
Yeah, Lewis isn't going to wait much longer.
He's going to make it, now he's going to get the up and over.
The
I can see what's going to happen here. He's got
yeah,
the
Lewis has got a plan here on this run.
Corner. Not quite. Gabbett gets a great drive as he's done yesterday in practicing in that first race. He manages to leap out of the KTM, out of those corners.
Yeah.
And now Lewis Cornish will be stronger in the second half. We've seen that Gabbett is not as strong in the second half of the lap as what other riders are. Now Sasaki still in third position. Sasaki's still in third position at the moment. And bike number 5 there is Trakan in fourth position. Now Lewis Cornish, what's he going to do? Is he going to have a crack up the inside? No, he's not. Gabbett is riding. Mohammed Abdullah is riding a superb race at the moment. They're down to lap 3. 17 minutes to go, and they're starting to close up behind them, Bazza. Look at this.
Yeah, they're holding up.
Sasaki there in third position.
Yeah, and I'm expecting Trakan to come through. Sasaki doing a great job there in third place.
And Trakan there in fourth position. Then it's Zachariah there in fifth.
Yeah, but you've got to expect the young Thai to muscle his way through at some point. He's not going to be happy with Gabbett getting away at the front. Or Cornish. He needs to take advantage of the fact that Cornish is being held up at the moment. Oh, is he? No, he's not. There he goes.
Great drive out of that third last corner. Now you'd expect to see him clear out into the distance, Lewis Cornish, and he already has.
Look at the way he jumped down that straight. Fantastic.
Already at the moment. So it's Cornish from Gabbett, then Trakan, Teng Tong there in third position.
Yeah, Trakan through there as expected. He's going to be straight on to Gabbett, I expect.
And it'll be interesting to see now that he's got the clear track. Lewis Cornish should get back into the 52nd bracket. His last lap was a 52 flat compared to Gabbett's a 52.389. Now, what can Trakan do? The young Thai rider, 24 years old from Thailand, the first winner, the victor of the 2015 FIM Supermoto.
See the Hong Kong rider there just having a mechanical problem. He's being wheeled away from trouble.
And already now the gap out as he crosses the line. What's Cornish's lap then? A 51.2, the only one.
Look at Trakan coming now, Braxy.
He is going to make a move. Oh, well, I thought he had a bit of a whoopsie there.
These riders are right on the limit now.
But Cornish, is this going to be 4 wins from 4 starts for the guy from Norwich in the east of England?
It certainly looks that way. How are the lap times looking, Braxy? He's done a 51.2. Cornish, that's the fastest. Yeah, so Kari Zachariah's got the fastest lap actually, a 52 almost dead.
A 51, yeah, he did actually.
Let's see what Lewis does now.
51.6 for Trakan as well. So he's on the pot. I tell you what, I might be wrong, but I'm thinking that Gabet is actually holding these guys up in second position because he's starting to get a gaggle of them behind him. And this is allowing Cornish to extend his lead.
That's right. And
Now
Kari
down to about
Zakaria.
3.2 seconds.
Yeah, Kari Zakaria has dealt with Takashi Sasaki. He's pushed him back into 5th. So he's in 4th place. And the top Indonesian rider is Faradilla Adam, who's in 6th position ahead of Donny Tata, the Indonesian hero. And Naoto Takayama is in 8th, ahead of Azroy Osman of Singapore and Kenneth San Andres of the Philippines. And Artem Teslenko, who went so well in Moto 1, he's currently in 11th.
I've just seen where a young Indian rider is a young 16-year-old. Now that he's down in 16th position, probably a fitting spot for him being 16th.
Yeah, he came through well in the second race. He doesn't seem to have any stamina problems, as he shouldn't do.
He didn't have a front brake in that previous race because the fluid boiled. Oh, look at Trakan trying up the inside of Gabet, backing it into turn number 1. And I'm right there. Well, we are right. He's starting to hold these guys up.
Yeah,
Trakan's going to put a big move on very shortly. He's got to get past it if he's got any chance of trying to haul Cornish in, because Cornish is leading out after 4 seconds.
Pride at stake here between the 2016 champion Gabet and the 2015 champion Trakan. And coming after them is Kari Zakaria.
And Sasaki there trying as well. Says it's a freight train of 4 bikes. He's got the Shepherd's hook out. He's looking for the big slingshot as Trakan, but look in 3rd and 4th position. Zakaria is there as well. As well, Cornish disappears into the distance. We've got 3 bikes, all line astern. Trying to find a little bit. Here comes Trakan up the inside.
Yeah.
Not quite. Didn't get the drive out like Cornish did the previous laps ago.
So we've got a 3-way battle there for second position. And any one of those guys could end up coming out on top. They've all been in the top 4 throughout the championship so far. This is the second round and the 4th race.
And now Cornish has hit out to 4.5 seconds. A 52.2 his last lap. His best lap at 51.2.
Yeah, it's 4.5 seconds. Gabet holding second place, but he's got 2 very, very good riders. He's got 2015 champion Trakan Tantong behind him, who's the best of Thailand's supermoto riders, and he's got Kari Zakaria, who
I saw that he's coming up. He took the wide line into Trakan. He moved into second position. He just shuffled down, Gabet out of the way, but a good 3 move all the same. Gabet's dropped it again and up the inside.
Yeah, and he
fellow countryman.
Yeah, he
tags him, Zakaria.
He clipped his fellow Malaysian there.
Wow, how those pairs stayed upright has got me. They got slammed into the back of him.
That's right. So Trakan in business now. He was 3rd in Moto 1. He won't want another 3rd position. He's going to want minimum 2nd position from
he's
Moto 2.
Got plenty of time. He's half race distance plus 2 laps.
Yeah.
He's got to get those times down now. A 51.6 is his best compared to a 51.2 for Cornish.
Yeah.
Now he's got some clear track in front of him. He should be able to settle back into those times.
Yeah, and his fitness is good. He's like Lewis Cornish. He's in one of the most professional teams out there as well. And Gabet, 3rd position. We're looking at the battle further back now. Lewis Cornish.
It's getting pretty tight there.
He's starting to lap some of the back markers. Trakan now coming up behind the back marker.
Cornish's lead's gone from 4.2 seconds to 2.7 seconds now that Trakan's got into second position. So are we going to have a monumental battle in these closing 10 minutes of this race?
So that's a very determined run now from Trakan Tangtong.
Well, the Cornish must have been balked there a bit, Bazza, because it was a 54.4 that last lap, some 3 seconds slower than the best.
Yeah, let's see how the next couple of laps unfold. Let's see whether Trakan Tangtong, the 2015 champion, can know anything about this Englishman who's come in and literally blitzing the championship. He's on his 11th lap. He's already lapping a number of riders.
And did you notice Sun Tong, the Chinese rider, actually pointed to the left, say go that way, I'm heading out, as Cornish went past him. Great move, great sportsmanship.
Yeah, great sportsmanship, yeah, absolutely.
And you wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley either, Sun Tong, he's a huge man.
Yeah, he's a big lad, but all these riders get on well. They've got a lot of respect for each other, and you can see that now that Lewis is and Trakan and the other leaders are starting to lap some of the slower riders.
I think that camaraderie might intensify tonight when they've got a couple of birthdays to celebrate.
Oh, indeed they have. 3 no less.
And none of them are ours, thankfully. If you have a birthday here, you get a little surprise. Anyway, Lewis Cornish leading the way, well on track to take a 4 wins from 4 starts. The man who finished 3rd in the AMA Supermoto Championship in 2017, stamping his ascendancy on this 2017.
And the gap there, Braxy, is 2 seconds, so he kept the gap constant. Lewis didn't get away any on that lap, and Trakan is holding his lead over now Kari Zakaria, who's got the better of Habibullah to take 3rd.
53.7 for Cornish that previous lap. So 12 laps down, and we've got 8 minutes left plus 2 extra laps. Cornish now looking there. You can see in the background that Trakan Tangtong will be trying his hardest. He can get that slip. You can see that he's getting closer. But how much do you push? Do you throw all the points away in desperation, or do you settle and think that there's another 4 rounds to go, and hopefully that the dominance of Cornish can be brought to a halt at the next round in India?
Absolutely, and he was telling us in the paddock after Moto 1 that he had a massive slide in the very late laps and nearly lost it. So this is not a stroll for Lewis Cornish. He's working hard, and we've got just over 8 minutes left before the 2-lap board comes out.
Now it's gone out to 2.9 laps. So now that Cornish has got a bit of clear track in front of him, I think it's going to settle down to situation normal. Trakan wants to go 2 better. He finished 3rd in the first race, but behind Zakaria. Zakaria there now dropping down to 3rd position. So they're swap positions at the moment, but also Gabbett back in 4th position. That's where he finished leg number 1.
Yeah, Gabbett back again into 4th. He won't be happy about that, but nobody's going to give him a free pass.
Zakaria looking like he's starting to mount a challenge. Is he close enough? He's got to pull back 2 seconds, or 1.7 as a matter of fact. So we've got 7 minutes left of this second leg of the second round of the 2017 Bowl Experience FIM Asia Supermoto Championship here at Solo Baru, right in the middle of town at the Park Mall.
Yeah, and Lewis then took a second out of Trakan on that last lap. So, as you said, Braxy, it's getting back maybe to business as normal for the Englishman.
I think so. He's back into the 51s and he's got some clear track. He's had his mid-race cut and that, he's ready to go again.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see what's going to happen with Kari Zakaria and Trakan Tangtong. Kari looking good at this stage. He faded in the last 5 minutes or so of Moto 1.
Now just looking at some of the other guys, Takayama back in 8th, Osman back in 9th, he celebrates his birthday tomorrow. Kenneth San Andreas, the Filipino rider in 10th, Zardan Teslenko in 11th, not repeating his stellar first race performance when he finished in 6th position.
Absolutely right. And behind Artem there's Pedro Wuna, professional Indonesian rider, Edgar Avuskans, who had a very impressive run to finish 12th in Moto 1. And then he's followed by Santong and Sri Lanka's Deshan Solanki, who's having a better run this time. He had brake problems in the first Moto.
Now the lead out to 3.7 seconds, so Cornish over second place with Tangtong.
Yeah.
And look at, you can't say that Gabit's not having a go, Mohamed Habibullah, the defending champion, on his KTM with number 1 on it.
Yeah, frustrating for him, but he's dropped back now. He's 8 seconds behind Kari Zakaria, who's in 3rd place. And he's just 1.5 seconds behind Trakan Tangtong, who's in 2nd place.
Yeah, I think Gabit will be a bit disappointed on his KTM Malaysia machine. 2 4th places is not what he wanted, especially after his disappointment in Thailand when he had that problem and got that penalty for crossing the corner when he had the brake failure.
That's right, it's a beautifully prepared machine, but they haven't quite unravelled the mystery of how to get in front and how to get on the podium so far in this championship.
4.2 seconds at the moment. Cornish won the first race by a massive 22 seconds, but I don't think that's going to happen this race.
Yeah, and behind Gabbett we've got Takashi Sasaki, I should say, who's still in 5th place. He finished 5th in the first moto, and he's ahead of Faradula Adam, who's the best of the Indonesians. He's leading Dori Tata Pradisa, and number 300, the Japanese Naoto Takayama.
And that rider's getting well out of the way. They are putting some pretty fast laps around here, but 800 metre track, it's very easy to start lapping them, the slower riders, after a few laps. So we're down now into lap number 18. We did 24 laps in the previous one, 26 laps, pardon me, in the opening leg. And we've got just on 4 minutes to go. So we've got about 4 laps, then we've got another 2 laps to finish it off. And they'll probably complete another 24 laps this time, so the pace might have changed.
Yeah, the fastest lap isn't quite there, but I think the pace overall is there. And Lewis now, he's 4.5 seconds clear of Trakan, so he seems to have nailed this one again, barring any mechanical problems or mistakes. And Kari Zakaria hasn't, in the last few laps, hasn't been able to make any impression on the young Thai Trakan. Habibullah, he's slipping back. He's now 11 seconds behind Kari Zakaria. He's in 4th place. And we've got Takashi Sasaki, Faradula Adam, Donny Tata and Naoto Takayama behind them. The Singaporean has Roy Osman. I think he's one of the birthday boys, isn't he? He's in 9th position. And the Filipino rider, Kenneth San Andreas.
Yeah, Cornish hasn't managed to get into the 50s this session either, but the top 3 are all their fastest lappers within 0.4 of a second of each other. So pretty consistent there, but Cornish is putting those laps together more consistently, those within a few tenths of a second. He seems to be inch perfect, as we said in the first leg. He just puts the bike where he wants to go and he manages to pull it off.
I think that's the difference. He's almost metronomic, lap after lap after lap, hitting the same points, hitting the same brake marks, hitting the jumps exactly right. He's not making any mistakes, so there's very little that the chasing Thai Trakan Tang Tong can do about that.
I'll tell you what, Zakaria is, with a bit of luck, he might be able to close down Trakan Tang Tong in these closing stages, because there he is right on the back wheel of him at the moment. Yeah, as Zakaria just managed to hold on enough with his fitness and his stamina to put a bit of a move on towards the last part of the race. We've got just under 2 minutes to go, plus 2 laps.
And of course, second place on aggregate is at stake between these two, Trakan and Kari Zakaria. Habibullah now, he's more than 15 seconds adrift in fourth position. Lewis takes another back marker.
So it's under a second now, the gap between Zakaria and Tang Tong.
So whereas Kari Zakaria faded in the first moto, it looks like he's coming strong in this one. So Trakan needs to watch out, or that second place is going to go to the Malaysian.
The gap now out to 3.8 seconds between Cornish and Tang Tong in second position. But the interest now is what can Zakaria do to run him down now. It's still 0.9 of a second. They've got 1 minute to go, so they'll get another lap in relay before the 2-lap final charge comes into play.
And this is altogether a much closer race, Braxley, than the last one, which Lewis won by 22 seconds.
Yeah, he won't be winning it by that much this time. It's only 4.1. Now it's down to 0.6 of a second, the gap between the Malaysian and the Thai rider. The Malaysian on bike number 32, the Thai rider on bike number 5.
So the second place honours at stake here. Kari Zakaria, he's not fading this time as he did in Moto 1. He's coming strong, he's getting on the back of the Thai champion, the Thai 2015 champion.
And he's right there, you can see him nudging us on screen at the moment. It's Trakan Tang Tong. And also Cornish there coming through. You'll get the 2-lap board coming out of the completion of this lap on my calculations with 4 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Now it's 2 laps for Cornish to make it 4 from 4 and maintain his perfect record here at the 2017 Gold Experience FIMH Supermoto Championship.
So there he goes, the inch perfect Englishman, Lewis Cornish. Around that deceptively tricky hairpin, over the second dirt jump, sorry, the first dirt jump.
So it's still 0.6 of a second as they cross the line between Tantong and Zakaria.
Yeah, that's,
and Cornish just in cruise mode at the moment, I think, Baz.
Yeah, he is. He's inch perfect, he's in the groove. He won't be thinking about what he's doing, he's just doing it.
It's all instinctive, isn't it,
yeah,
this time of the race?
He's in that happy zone where it just all comes together. And let's remember, what a great bike that has been prepared by Kenny Motorworks.
Yeah, and that's all. You've got to have good machining under you. And Lewis has been waxing lyrical about how good this motorcycle is, prepared by the Kenny Motorsports outfit.
Yeah, no question about that.
The last lap, ladies and gentlemen, of our little sojourn into the wilds of Indonesia right here at Solo Baru, right in the middle of central Java. Cornish in a class act, all on his own at the moment. He had a battle for it in the early laps, but he managed to get through, and so did Tricorn and Zakaria behind our early race leader, Habibullah, or Gabit as he's affectionately known.
Those two are very close, Tricorn and Kari Zakaria. We can't see them on the screen at the moment.
0.3 of a second at the moment with it.
Yeah, maybe we can have a look at that. Yeah, here we go.
Cornish is coming down. We'll look in the background to see if we can see. Look at Zakaria trying up the inside as Cornish now takes the checkered flag to make it 4 from 4 in the championship in 2017.
4 out of 4 for the inch perfect Englishman, and Tricorn just snatched that. I think we're looking at it head on, but I'm pretty sure that it was Tricorn that got that ahead of Kari Zakaria. What a battle it was between those two.
By 0.1 of a second.
One
more lap. Zakaria would
could have been one more lap. Yeah. Good job there by Tricorn. Lewis rides along, communicating there with the crowd. I think they've taken him to their hearts, and he's given them a great show of how to ride a supermoto motorcycle. Total laps 25 this time.
Superlative is the only word to describe Lewis Cornish's performance so far in the opening 2 rounds of this 2017 championship.
Yeah, and another big shout to Kenny Motorworks for preparing that Husqvarna. Absolutely perfect. They leave nothing to chance. I've been watching them in the pad. I've been watching them on the grid, and they leave absolutely nothing to chance. And there you have the results. You got Lewis Cornish in first and Tricorn.
There's bike number 55, our favourite Latvian. He's loving himself. Edgar's Ibushans.
Yeah, he loves this track. He loves this championship. He's telling us.
Loves everything that goes with it. So
yeah.
A great result all round for the conclusion of this second round of the Bold Experience FIMH Supermoto. I just had to get my breath back, so I don't know what these guys are doing out there. But there's the leaderboard, the Baz.
Have another breather, Braxy. It's Lewis Cornish in first, Tricorn Tangtong in second, Kari Zakaria 10th behind him in third place, and then 2016 champion Gabit Mohammed Habibullah, then Takashi Sasaki, another 5th place for him. He was followed by the best Indonesian on the day, Donitata Pradita. He was followed by Naoto Takayama in 7th. 8th was Kenneth San Andres, who came good later in the race. 9th was Indonesian Faradullah Adam, and 10th was a Russian with another brilliant result in 10th position for Artem Teslenko.
6 and 10 positions. Then we've got Pedro Wuna there in 11th. Edgar's Ibushkin's there in 12th. Sung Tong, a good result for him in 13th position. Ling Ching Pei, then it's Li Wei, then Hazroy Osman. That's a good way to celebrate tomorrow's birthday. Deshan Solanki in 17th position, and then the 16-year-old Indian Rajbed there. Great result for him.
Yeah, the Indian's done very well. I'm not sure if he actually finished that race. He covered 14 laps.
Yeah, it looks like there was a few DNFs towards the end, and wouldn't blame them that a bit of attrition took over. But great result there, great event. Thanks to everybody involved here. It's been a magnificent time. I'm sure there's no one going to leave this venue without a smile on their face and admiring the testament of skill that was seen on display here at this Park Mall here at Solo Baru this weekend.
Yeah, and it's not even over yet for the crowd. There's bands, there's parties, there's DJs going on tonight.
Got the presentation to go as well.
Yeah, we have indeed.
And then we've got the closing ceremony at 7 o'clock where the mayor will be coming up to officially close this magnificent event.
Yeah, and again, it's an endorsement of how important this event has been to the local government here in Sukhothajo. And we'd like to recognise the people who put this together. Bold Experience, the title sponsor here for the FIM Asia Supermoto Championship 2017 Round 2. Thanks to the Bold Experience, they've been keeping the crowd entertained with the glamour and colour. And the event here at the Park Mall, Solar Barun Sukhothajo, has been an absolute pleasure from start to finish. And we'd like to thank the other sponsors involved, especially the Asia Supersports Group, the promoter, and Malaysian Major Events, and of course Kabupaten Sukhothajo, the government here and the council, who've been so welcoming and so committed to this event. Got the Indonesian Motor Association, got Cracker Indonesia, the Park Mall, of course. We're sitting here in their car park, having this amazing experience, and then to Telkomsel, Telkom, KMK Online, and a whole host of other sponsors, including Lipatan6.com, Bowler.com, Video.com, Malay Mail, Kelab Blogger, Benashari, and TX Sports. And there you can see the 14 flags fluttering, representing the 14 nations that have been competing here this weekend in Central Java, Indonesia.
Yeah, magnificent event. And I'm sure those flags will increase in number in the coming years, as well as more and more riders from more and more countries, and I think there'll be more and more rounds. I think in a couple of years I'll be battling to keep it to about 10 rounds actually, Barry, because everybody around the Asian area, the Asian region, is very excited about this. We could be going to Bhutan and Burma in a couple of years, who knows?
How bad could that be?
Not bad at all.
I think not bad at all. And even in my Facebook inbox, I've seen people asking me from Nepal, how can they get involved? And these guys are serious. This is not...
Well, and it's pretty cheap. It's not as if you've got to bring your own bike with you. For $500 US, you can get a bike for the weekend. You just got to get yourself here.
That's it. Asia Supersport supply the bikes.
And you can bring your own bits to put on the bike as well. It's not as if it's all set up and you get a standard bike. You can bring your hotted up kit to put on there as well.
That's it. That's it. The technical rules are open. And the championship has also taken another step upwards this year, it's fair to say, with the tie-up between the promoter Asia Supersports Group and E+ Global, who put on this fantastic live streaming, and this high-definition live streaming, which is going all around the world. So, as you were saying, Braxy, the Supermoto event has been taken to the people.
Yep, and by doing the live streaming, we're taking it to the people right around the world. Whoever wants to look at it through the FIM Asia Supermoto Facebook page.
Yeah, the crowd clearing from the street there. I suspect they're coming closer into the enclosure because there's a lot of events going on there. There's lots of things happening on the stage. We've got the podium presentations soon. And of course there's lots of stalls and food stalls. Lots of things going on. I'm not sure what they're going to find to buy there, because I know the official T-shirts were all sold out. But we've had a fantastic experience this weekend, as we always do when we come racing in Indonesia. We've been in between races. It's been an absolute pleasure to go and mix it up with the crowd, watch some of the support races with them, chat with them, have photos with them. It's so good to be here. They're so excited. They're very partisan about their own riders. They're very boisterous and noisy. They'll climb onto anything they can to try and get a better view of the race.
Yeah, this is real. Trucks and roofs of the Makan shops, which is food shops. Yeah, cafes. This
is, of course, what happens when you bring Supermoto right into the heart of the city and bring it to the people in the way that Asia Supersports Group, together with E+ Global and Bold Experience, have done over the last couple of days. It's been a huge success.
Yeah, magnificent event, and it is only going from strength to strength. So coming up next, we'll have the prize giving, and it won't be too far away before that. We've got to make sure that all the points are up to standard, and I might have to try and get down there and get some words of wisdom from our place getters.
Yep, and I think I've got to.
And
I think I have to join the prize giving too.
yep, exactly. Well, yeah, you'll be down there, and I'll be still sitting here anchoring and everything. But no, it's been a great event, and it's just well, it's all over for the day as far as the action goes. But as we've said, the party still continues. We've got the prize giving and bands playing till the late hours of the evening, as well as probably a few celebratory brown lemonades as well during the course of it. And there's the podium just getting prepared right in front of the bandstand.
Yeah, I think that might be a hint for me. I think I'll get myself over there.
Yeah, we'll leave you to it, Barry, to go over there and, well, hopefully you can present the awards to them, as we'll get the official results down here to come back and present this and wrap it up, our coverage of the 2017 FIM Asia Supermoto Championship for the second round here, proudly presented by Bold Experience over the course of the weekend. And it's been a great event, and one that's, well, as you can see by that vision there on your screen, nothing has been left unturned with the bands and everything else that's been here. The food stalls situated around there, pretty good access for the public to get down there and have a look of the get up and close and have a chat with some of their heroes. We've had plenty of local heroes. Donny Tata Pratada there was the best of the local Indonesian riders, where he's finished in 6th position after finishing 9th in the first leg and winning that Pro Open final race in dramatic circumstances when he shuffled his Hendro out of the way to get the win and basically take the round, because with a second and a first in the final leg, it'll give him the nod to take that SM Pro Open class. But the nod goes in no uncertain terms to our winner of the round this weekend, Lewis Cornish, in superlative form at the moment. 4 wins from 4 starts, and all in pretty dominant circumstances. He had a bit of a battle in his hands in that this second leg just done, where Gabit Muhammad Habibullah got a very good start and managed to hold him off for a while, but you've only got to give Lewis Cornish a sniff of a gap, and he jumped in it and took it rather dramatically there on about the 5th lap on the second last corner, and stretched his lead out to take the win by 3.2 seconds, some 19 seconds difference in the first leg when he won that by 22 seconds. And Kyrie Zakaria there in 3rd position. So those guys have had there'll be some pretty even points between those two, I presume. And then in 4th position, as we said, Gabit there, the Malaysian, the defending champion, followed by Takashi Sasaki. Then Donny Tata Pratada, the ex-GP pilot, Naoti Takayama, Kenneth San Andreas in 9th position all the way from the Philippines, and then Faridullah Adam in 9th, and then Artem Teslenko in another good result for him to replicate his 6th position with 10th. So some good handy points for him in the championship. Pedro Wuna, Edgars Ivushkins there in 12th, the very likeable Latvian and a very big boy. He muscles the bike away. Great result for Sun Tong. Lin Chin Pei, Lin Wei, Hazroy Osman, and then that was the finishing order with 4 DNFs over the course of that 25 laps. So 1 less than they managed to get through in that first leg, as we get ready to get down to the presentations very soon. And we might have to have a bit of a drink of water and get ready for the presentation. So as we wait to see what's next, I'll just say again, thanks to E-Global Sports for the magnificent organisation, E-Plus Global Sports, pardon me, and the promotion by the Asian Supersport Group.